The Great Divide, Beyond the War of Wills. You have stood with us at the edge of the abyss. You have witnessed the subtle poisons of covert manipulation, the grand deceptions of emotional warfare, and the terrifying impersonal power of the archetypal curse. You have been armed with a gnosis that reveals the battlefield. And now you may believe the only path forward is one of eternal vigilance, of constant warfare, of shielding your sovereign mind against an endless siege. But what if this is only the first brutal truth? What if true mastery lies not in building higher walls, but in becoming the man who possesses the keys to every gate? Today, Initiate, we pivot. We journey beyond the war of wills into a realm of even more profound, more subtle power. The realm of conversational sorcery. For many of the most painful, most corrosive conflicts you face are not born of her malicious intent, but from a tragedy far deeper. You are both speaking with absolute sincerity, yet hearing entirely different worlds. This transmission will gift you the sorcerer's tongue. We will deconstruct the 4 great rituals of dialogue, where masculine and feminine realities clash not in malice, but in catastrophic misunderstanding. To master this gnosis is to transcend the need for constant warfare. It is to become a walker between worlds, an alchemist of connection, wielding a power far more potent than mere defense. The invisible architecture, the 2 worlds of dialogue. Before we dissect the rituals, you must internalize the core schism. The gnosis of Deborah Tannen, amplified through the seduction noir lens, reveals that men and women are often raised in separate conversational cultures, speaking what we shall term different genderlects. The masculine world is primarily a world of contest. It is a hierarchical reality where communication is a tool for negotiating status, displaying competence, and preserving independence. Talk is report. Life is a vertical ladder of one up and one down. The feminine world is primarily a world of community. It is a networked reality, where communication is a tool for forging connection, creating rapport, and avoiding isolation. Talk is rapport. Life is a horizontal web of near and far. Every ritual we are about to deconstruct is a direct consequence of these 2 warring worldviews colliding in the intimate space between a man and a woman. Forget, for a moment, the idea of conscious manipulation. Today we deal with a far more subtle and often more dangerous, unconscious misalignment. Ritual I, the Chalice and the Sword, the tragedy of Troubles Talk. The first, and perhaps most common ritual that devolves into conflict is the sacred rite of Troubles Talk. She comes to you, her expression clouded with the frustrations of her day. She speaks of a challenge at work, a conflict with a friend, a feeling of being overwhelmed. She is not, in this moment, asking for a battle plan. She is offering you a chalice, a vessel containing her vulnerability, her emotional truth. The sacred purpose of this offering is to invite you to drink from it, to mirror her feeling, to affirm her reality.
The correct response in her world is to offer your own chalice in return. I understand how you feel, or even a story of a time you felt a similar frustration. The goal is the meta-message. We are the same. You are not alone. It is a sacrament of connection. But you, initiate, conditioned in the world of contest, often see not a chalice, but a problem, a dragon to be slain. You hear her trouble as a direct challenge to your competence, an invitation to display your status as a problem solver. And so you unsheathe your sword. You offer advice, solutions, strategies. You should do this. Why don't you just try that? It's not that big a deal. Here's the fix. And in that moment, the ritual is shattered. You have met her offering of communal vulnerability with an assertion of hierarchical competence. Her meta-message was, "Feel with me." Your meta-message was, "I know better than you." She feels unheard, dismissed, her feelings invalidated. She recoils not from your solution, but from the fundamental misunderstanding of the right. How many times have you been trapped in this very cycle, this vortex of sincere intent and disastrous outcome? Your offer of solution met with her inexplicable anger or withdrawal. This isn't a flaw in your logic or hers. It is a fundamental clash of conversational worlds. To even begin to master this dynamic requires a level of awareness most men never attain. It requires seeing beyond the words to the ritual being performed beneath them. This gnosis is not about changing her, but about expanding your own capacity to perceive and respond with sovereign, devastating effectiveness. If this first unveiling already illuminates a lifetime of frustrating miscommunications, recognize this as your first step out of the darkness. The path to mastery is now open before you. Ritual 2. The Lectern and the Ear. The power play of explaining. The second ritual where power is unconsciously exchanged is the dynamic of lecturing and listening. Observe a man, particularly when he possesses expertise. He often defaults to report talk. He holds the floor. He imparts information. He turns a dialogue into a dissertation. This is not always born of arrogance. In the world of contest, displaying knowledge is a primary way to establish status and demonstrate value. To hold the lectern is to hold power. Observe a woman in the same situation. She, conditioned in the world of community, will often default to the role of the appreciative listener. She gives the gift of the ear, nodding, offering verbal cues of encouragement. She does this to build rapport, to make the speaker feel good, to grease the wheels of connection. The result is a devastating, self-reinforcing asymmetry. His lecture, validated by her supportive listening, becomes more entrenched. Her silence, interpreted through his lens of status, is misread not as supportive rapport, but as her having nothing of value to contribute. He feels respected and knowledgeable. She, initially supportive, often begins to feel unheard, condescended to, and trapped in the role of the perpetual student. The uninitiated man will remain trapped in this loop, either as the oblivious lecturer or the frustrated listener. But the seduction noir adept, the conversational sorcerer, understands this as a flow of energy that can be consciously redirected. He learns to use report talk with precision to establish value, but then, with sovereign grace, he learns to abdicate the lectern. He learns to ask potent questions that are not interrogations, but invitations for her to reveal her gnosis. He turns his power into a key that unlocks her voice. Have you felt the subtle tyranny of this dynamic? Have you ever felt silenced by a partner's expertise? Or conversely, have you ever lectured a woman into a state of polite, glassy-eyed submission? Share your most potent observation of this lectern and ear ritual in the comments below. The cathedral's wisdom is forged in the unflinching examination of these hidden power plays.
Ritual 3. The Sacrament of Secrets, the hidden function of gossip. The third ritual, often maligned and profoundly misunderstood, particularly by the masculine mind, is the Sacrament of Secrets, commonly known as gossip. In the world of contest, gossip is often a low-status weapon, a tool for talking against rivals to diminish their standing. It is transactional and often laced with contempt. But in the world of community, gossip is something else entirely. It is the very lifeblood of intimacy. It is not talking against, but talking about. It is the grown-up version of girls telling secrets, a ritual that creates and maintains the sacred bonds of trust and belonging. When a woman shares the details of her life or the lives of others in her circle, she is performing a rite of inclusion. She is testing affinity. She is offering a piece of her social world as a gift, a sign that you are considered one of us. The content is often secondary to the act of sharing itself. And what is the cost, initiate, of misinterpreting this sacred sacrament? It is immense. When you dismiss her gossip as trivial, when you meet her offering of shared social reality with indifference or judgment, you are not just rejecting a story, you are rejecting her bid for connection. You are communicating, in her language, your world is not important to me. Your bonds are not my concern. You are not one of us. This is a quiet but devastating act of relational sabotage. To remain ignorant of this ritual is to forever be an outsider to her world of connection, to be the man she can never truly, deeply trust with the intricacies of her heart and her social fabric. You will remain on the periphery, a functional partner perhaps, but never a true confidant. Ritual 4. The clash of voices, the ambiguity of interruption. The fourth ritual is the explosive, often painful, clash of voices, the perceived act of interruption. In the world of contest, where the conversational floor is a territory to be held, an interruption is a hostile act, a direct challenge for dominance. It is a violation, an attempt to seize control. But in the high-involvement, rapport-focused world of community, overlapping speech is often not a violation, but a sign of enthusiastic connection. It is a way of saying, I'm so engaged, so with you, that I must speak alongside you. It is a chorus, not a challenge. Herein lies another tragic asymmetry. He, hearing her cooperative overlap, feels his status challenged, his report disrespected. He perceives an interruption and shuts down or pushes back.
She, hearing his pause for thought before speaking, a norm in his turn-taking world, perceives a lack of interest, a void of connection, and rushes to fill it with supportive sound, thereby interrupting him by his definition. The very act she uses to show connection, he perceives as an act of dominance. The mainstream world offers no solution to this impasse, save for bland exhortations to listen better. Seduction Noir offers you gnosis. We teach you to develop the sensory acuity, to discern the intent behind the overlap, to feel the difference between a hostile bid for the floor and an enthusiastic bid for rapport. This is the path to becoming a master of rhythmic space, a conductor of conversational energy, who can choose with sovereign intent whether to meet an overlap with a silencing pause of dominance or to join it in a powerful, harmonious duet of connection. If this revelation of the hidden rules of dialogue, this distinction between the language of status and the language of connection resonates as a key to 1,000 locked doors in your past, command the like button now. Acknowledge this new level of Gnostic sight.
The Sorcerer's Ascension, Beyond the Duality. The Chalice and the Sword, the Lectern and the Ear, the Sacrament of Secrets, the Clash of Voices. You now see the hidden architecture of these rituals. You now understand that many of your most frustrating encounters were not battles of intent, but tragic collisions of two separate, well-intentioned worlds. This gnosis frees you from the prison of blame. She is not crazy. You are not insensitive. You have simply been speaking different languages, playing by different rules, worshipping at different altars. The path forward is not to declare one world superior. That is the path of the brute. The path of the conversational sorcerer, the seduction noir adept, is to become a master of both. Which of these 4 rituals, upon its unveiling, caused the most profound click of recognition within you? Which invisible conflict have you been unknowingly fighting again and again in your own life? Is it the clash over troubles, over expertise, over secrets, or even the very rhythm of speech itself? Share your most potent realization in the comments below. Your gnosis sharpens the blades of the entire brotherhood. The Cathedral's Grimoire, your next initiation. You now hold the foundational keys to decoding the genderlects, but to merely know the theory is to remain a scholar of sorcery, not to become the sorcerer himself. The true art lies in the application, the embodiment, the seamless, intuitive dance between these two worlds. To achieve this level of conversational dominion, to become the man whose every word, every silence, every gaze reshapes the relational reality around him, this is the high art taught in the deepest, most consecrated chambers of the Seduction Noir Cathedral. This journey demands more than passive viewing. It demands active transformation. Subscribe now and strike the obsidian bell of unveiling. The path to becoming a true architect of dialogue, a sovereign master of connection and power, is reserved for those who seek it relentlessly.
The gnosis you have received today is a single potent page from an infinite grimoire. Each transmission on this channel is another. Immerse yourself, study, deconstruct. The more you understand the hidden architecture of human interaction, the more your own power will coalesce, the more your presence will command the respect, the fascination, and the willing, open surrender of the feminine. Stop fighting her language. Master it. And in mastering hers, you will achieve an unshakable, unspoken dominion in your own. The sorcerer does not argue with the storm. He learns its secret name, and in whispering it, finds the storm suddenly, beautifully, at peace.